not to be like mother?
How not to be like similar as your parents. Daughter usually thinks as in how not to be like mother. Son can say father, but we're talking about psychological, not looks, right? So psychologically, when person doesn't wanna be or look like his parents, it's some we need to understand what's going on here. Usually, every one of us have some offense. We've been offended to our parents or issues in the family. And sometimes we respect, sometimes we don't our parents, unfortunately. Now, parents, they don't want to scream, beat up us, abuse. It's their state, psychological state. That's what they feel. If they don't feel well, they're gonna transform it, and they're gonna do like they can even harm their children sometimes, and that's why this question is coming up from. But you need to understand it has nothing to do with mother. It's first it's her state, but you need to work, especially when you reach like 18, puberty, 17, etc. You need to more focus on your personality than on your mother, because when you reach 18, you have to disattach completely from your parents. You must live by yourself, make your own decisions, etc. Everything. Now, mothers, most of the time, they don't want to lose this control over their children, because sometimes that's what makes them feel good, whatever. We'll talk about that too. But they don't want to let you be independent, so they might fight with their, they're not going to agree that you're going to move, live by yourself. They're not going to agree on some things, you make decisions. A lot of things, then you're not going to agree. But you have to cut it completely and disattach from your parents, because as a living creature, as all animals, if they keep living with their parents, they're gonna die. They don't know, they're not gonna know how to hunt, they're not gonna know how to fly, they're not gonna be able to survive. And people the same. You're gonna be helpless, and you're gonna have a lot of psychological issues, a lot of fears, because you're not completely independent. On the other hand, every one of us has some kind of a channel that we, you can say, exchanging energy. That channel can lead to one direction only. Or you go with the flow or against the flow. Or you go north or you go south. So only one way. Or you disattach from your parents, you cannot do or not. You cannot do 50-50. You cannot do just halfway. You cannot do halfway north, halfway south. So that's why you're gonna have all these uncomfortable situations and stress, and all these issues will start there. A lot of also fears, but we'll talk about that too. But you have to disattach. Why we don't want to disattach? Because it's painful. We feel pain because it's painful to disattach from close friends, relatives, to quit smoking, to quit gambling. Everything you need to quit, you're not going to feel comfortable, because it's where you get energy, and you cut in this energy channel, you don't get it anymore. So for some time, you're not going to feel comfortable. It's going to be one day you're gonna get over it, but at the beginning it's hard. So it's kind of uncomfortable, but you have to do it because otherwise you're gonna have a lot of issues. And you have to cut it, you can say, your parents, they have to be like your grandparents. Like, what does that mean? You can visit them, you can call them whatever you want, visit whenever you want, buy them. If they need some help, help them. But you don't discuss your personal life, like with your husband, or you don't ask for support from your father and your husband and your mother. You have to take only one channel. You cannot do both. It's going to be conflict of interest here. It's going to be always conflict, every time conflict, because you cannot do these two channels. You have to. So when you disattach from your father and mother, then man is supposed to give you the safety and security and lead you forward. If they cannot do that, then you're gonna want to return home, because that's the rule. Most of them, they cannot do that because why? We'll talk about that too. But a lot of them, they lost themselves, so they cannot lead somebody else. You understand? It's complicated here. But you have to understand it has nothing to do with your mother, nothing to do with your father. It's only you. You make decisions, you pick the person, and you cut these channels. You stop. If communication takes a lot of energy from you and uncomfortable for you, and you don't want it, you tell her, look, mom, I don't want to talk about that. If you're going to keep saying or asking, I'm going to hang up. She keep doing that, you hang up. She calls back, same thing, until she learns. If she doesn't learn, you don't pick up phone for a week or two, then you call her back, but it has to be done aggressively. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. So it's hard, but that's the only way. And as a girl, especially when you live with your father and mother, complete family, you get a lot of support, you get safety, security, you get everything from your parents. It's so hard to cut this channel and move forward. So there is a work sometimes. Not every, especially girl, can do that. So we need to work on that, but it's a must. Otherwise, you're gonna have fears. You're not gonna able to live and move in different country by yourself, even visit other country with your friends, because you used to everything, all decisions made by your mother and father. So you don't know basically how to survive. You never probably worked. If worked, maybe a little bit. You always kind of count on them, and you kind of, but you're not gonna feel that comfort inside, emotions. I mean, you're gonna be, it's gonna be hard for both boy and a girl, because it's a must to become independent man or woman. They have to go through some steps. They have to also, both of them need to work with fears, recognize a lot of fears and things, because a woman, not only men need to get rid of most of the fears, women also, because why? Because if they have a lot of these insecurities and fears, there's a lot of stress, a lot of psychological and then physical problems. They become sick, and also they're gonna start destroying themselves, and also it's it's not good. We'll talk about that deeper, but it has to be done this way.